I am Tej Bahadur Verma, Kendra Vidyalaya teacher. Today, I want to take up the topic from your book, Contemporary World and Politics, Chapter 3. I want to tell you what is hegemony. What is the meaning of hegemony? Hegemony is a power. Just like in individual life, we find that a person wants to become powerful among other persons. Similarly, this trend we see in the United States of America, which wanted to become the world power among the nations. Now, hegemony, when the powers are concentrated in one hand, in one nation, it is called hegemony. For example, after the Cold War, from 1939 to 1945, the two rival nations, America and Britain, America and Russia, they were rival and they were competing with each other. But after the demise of the Soviet Union, because the Gorbachev reforms had completely changed the Soviet system of economic freedom and the ownership of wealth or the state control was abolished in the Soviet communism. But we find that in the Soviet Union, Gorbachev reforms for practical purposes from 1945 onwards and up to 1990, we find that after the reforms, Soviet Union became not so powerful as America. Now America became a hegemony, a powerful country in the world because of various factors. One is the military strength, the military power. The second is the economic power. And the third is the political power. And the fourth is the cultural values. Now, when we find what is the military strength or the military power, America became a military power, as we see in Kuwait. In Kuwait, the American missiles went to the target with precision. America could strike any part of the world with precision without going to that country. Now this military power made America a very strengthful country in the world, and all the countries were not able to compete with America. Now we find the second point is the economic power. Now we find America became an economic power because of the various commercial deals, because America became, after the Britain, America became the sea power of the world. The stocks, sea lane communication, America ruled over the sea after the British supremacy. So we find that American hold on the sea was so powerful, and it could add to its economic needs. America became a very important country in the world because of this global communication and the progress in the economic world. Then, just like imperialism, we find the countries dominated the various other countries and they became powerful. So we find that there was in the economic power, when we explore the structural administration of USA, we find that in 1881 the water school was started. 1900 we find that the MBA course was introduced, and later, quite later, it was taken up as a challenge in the various countries. Now, MBA, the Master of Business Administration, is an academic degree which is provided to the people of the country so as to enhance their knowledge in that particular field of business. Now, this became a very popular course, and we find that the in your book there is written that Jabu, who wanted to become a painter and start his own academic or the painting school, but his father was a businessman and he wanted him to adopt an MBA course and do the business. So we find that Jabu, in spite of his thinking of becoming a painter, became the businessman. And in the military strength, we find in your book it is given an example of Iraqi women, Aisha. She wanted to become a doctor, but in the American bombardment of the Iraq, she got an injury on the leg and she became disabled as a person. But you find that the military strength cannot kill her soul. She still aspired to become a doctor. Now we find that in the economic progress, we find that there are other aspects which we have to see. For example, the internet. America was the first country to put the satellites in the various parts of the countries so that there can be a worldwide wave. And internet is a method by which the countries can be benefited and is a powerful instrument of communication. So we find that America became a very powerful country because of the communication, because of the ideology, and we find just as in the military strength, I give an example of Athens, the Greek city, Greek state. Athens was a powerful state among the other states of the Greek nation. Similarly, America became a powerful country in the Committee of the Nations of the world. So we find that one state, when the power is concentrated in the hands of one nation, then it becomes a very strong nation. And we find if you study that 28% of the business is acquired by America of the world. So its economy is very, very progressive. And if you count the economic dealings in the internal Europe, you find the 15% business is dealt by America with the European countries. So we find the economic power is a great boost for the country to become a powerful country in the world. So we find we have already said that there are four aspects of the power. One is the military strength, another is the economic power, and third is the political power, and fourth is the cultural values. As for the fourth value, cultural values, I tell you that the Soviet ideology of communism was based on the ideology of state ownership. The means of distribution and the production were concentrated in the hands of all the people. There was no economic freedom. The concentration of wealth was not allowed. The individual suffered as a lot. And when the people wanted to make progress, they wanted that they should come up just as America. They wanted to compete with America. They wanted a better standard of living, and so they imitated the Western values. For example, we find Andrew, who had a love for the blue jeans. The blue jeans he wanted to wear, and his father remembered the time when he also wanted to become young and wear blue jeans. So America is an open society. There the commercial individual rights are given freedom. There is a freedom and democracy, and it was not the state ownership as it was found in Soviet Union. So the American ideology was was adopted by the various nations of the world because of its value, the cultural value, and everybody wanted to have a better standard of living like American and economic freedom. So we find that America, the concentration of power was solely in the hands of America. And even if I compare the 12 nations which were under America, if you calculate the total strength, you will find that America, because of its policy of innovation and industrialization, it had more values and more strengthful, it made more powerful country than other countries. That we find. So America became one power and one hegemony. The hegemonic country became America, and that's why we find. So in today's lesson, I have discussed some of the objective questions. For example, I asked, give at least 4 issues or the 4 points by which hegemony can be acquired. So the answer is military strength, political power, economic power, and cultural values. Then my another question is, Wharton School, when it was established? It was established in 1881. Then I asked, what is SLOC? So SLOC is sea lane of communication. So you can make some objective questions like this. Then in the cultural aspect, how did the American ideology help Soviet Union and other countries? So you can, students of the 12th class, this topic of hegemony, which is in the 3rd chapter of your political science book, the contemporary world politics, 3rd chapter, and today we studied hegemony. Now, the world had become two polar. One was Soviet Union and another America, but after some time, after 1990, the power was concentrated in America. So we find a change of policy and the change of ideology, and so many countries adopted the American way of democracy and economic power. So students of the 12th class, I want that you should prepare some objective questions from the lesson, because the examiner can make up his own objective question For example, he can ask you how MBA helped America, or what is the significance of MBA, how the other countries adopted, or you can say how America became economic power in the world, or what is the meaning of hegemony. So you are expected to make some short questions on these lines. Thank you.